Freddie DeMarco here at the Vox booth at Winter NAMM 2016, hanging out with the craft guys. I want to talk to you about this new technology from actually Korg that Vox uses. It's called Nutube. So Nutube is actually a mind meld between a company called Noritake and Korg. Noritake makes like fluorescent displays that you may see in like a Lexus. And then Korg modified this into something, if you look up here, in fact, I'll grab this for you. It's about the size of an Andes mint, right there. So this is, again, forward thinking with Korg and Vox. So what the technology is, it's just like a real tube. An actual tube has an anode, a grid, and it's housed in like a vacuum glass casing, just like an actual tube, but it runs at 2% of the energy it takes to run a regular tube. This means it can be mounted on a complex circuit board without having a tube socket or any heat issues. It can be run on battery, and it's built in a real high-end Japanese factory. So it's well made, and it's, you know, you can get up to 30,000 hours of continuous use on it. So the big advantages is just tube tone, lightweight, very conventional. This is an amp called the Nutube Amplifier. This will go from 5 watts up to 150 watts. It could stop off at 30 and 75 watts. It's a 2-channel amp. They use one Nutube in the preamp section, one Nutube in the power amp section, and that's also combined with some of the Vox's award-winning valve reactor technology. It's a 2-channel amp, but yet 4 modes. There's a vintage and modern to both the clean and the lead channel. So I'll give you a little example. Each one has its own independent volume and reverb, but really tube tone feels really good. So here is a little plain example on the vintage clean. So it's very, very clean. Now, if I go a little hotter with the gain, you're going to hear some harmonic distortion come in. Back off that volume a little bit. If I go into the modern, you can hear a little bit of a Voxy chime to it. Is I could dime out this clean channel and get some real classic stuff going on. Now I go over to the next channel. I could do this with a foot switch, and this is the lead channel. In its vintage setting, it's really cool for power blues and classic rock. Bring it up a little bit. I can kick that gain up a little bit, get some really nice high gain. Then it's got a modern setting. This is probably more gain than you're used to hearing off any Vox amplifier. This is really, really high gain. So that's a little example of the Nutube technology. I want to thank you for joining us here at the Vox booth, and hello to all the craft people.